November 12th, the rut is in full swing right now here in the Midwest. I have an Illinois tag in my pocket, got an invite from my buddy Wesley Craig, so I'm heading down to Southern Illinois. This is my first time hunting Southern Illinois, and when I get down there I kind of want to figure out the lay of the land, what's going on, what the setup's like, what's the hunting conditions, weather, all these factors that play into having a successful hunt out of state. So we pull out the maps, look at trail cameras. Wesley's pointing out different spots where these certain pictures are being taken, trying to figure out what are these deer doing. Overall layout, the property doesn't seem like much looking at it from the road or looking at it on maps, but actually there is a lot of contour to the property. The property is mostly made up of ag. It's all grain. It's beans, it's corn, it's got a few islands on it, and it's got these 3 ditches that run to the center of the property. Now these ditches connect to these larger bodies of timber on the neighboring property. Now those larger bodies of timber acts like a sanctuary and some sort of bedding area for these deer. So what these deer are doing, they're coming out of the bedding area, they're using these ditches to access this particular property for food. Time of year right now is mid-November. I should be seeing bucks chasing does, trying to get with these does. So our strategy going forward is to hunt the does, and where are the does at right now? They're on feed. The stands that we're going to be hunting, they're already set up, they're already established, so we don't need to go in there and do a hang and hunt situation. First day and a half were pretty slow. Not much activity was going on. We were seeing smaller bucks, younger bucks, not a whole lot of rut activity going on. It's a little bit warmer, it's in like, the upper 30s, low 40s. Wind's not the greatest. It's not optimal conditions for hunting. Evening 2, we decided to change things up.
All right, so we're gonna make a move, getting aggressive. It's that time of year, bucks are traveling, they're on their feet and looking for them hot does, trying to get their ladies. Time to get aggressive, here we go. All right, well, we're changing it up this evening. We're sitting on an elevated platform with a pop-up ground blind. There's a few drainages and ditches that all kind of like narrow down to the center of this property. It seems like all the deer just congregate to the center of this property. So we're hoping to kind of intercept them as they're coming out of bedding. Access to the spot was super simple and really easy, and we got in really clean. We basically shot up the middle of this property. There's kind of a low spot, if not like a drainage or a ditch. We're sitting low, so the deer, if they are on the edge of the fields, are not able to see us. And we cut across the picked cornfield, again, still being in a low spot. That's the one key thing about this property. The entrance and the exiting on this property is super simple and easy. Well, I'm looking forward to this evening, so hopefully we'll see some activities.
So we're sitting there in this blind in the northeast corner. Does are starting to pile out. As that evening goes on and the wind dies down and temperatures start to drop, Wes ends up looking to the southeast and he's seeing one buck come down the picked corn rows. He's out about 80, 85 yards, so we're just kind of sitting back observing, just kind of taking it all in, because back at home in Minnesota, our gun season's going on, and I don't get to witness this a whole lot. I just mostly witness it through trail cameras. So for me to actually be sitting there in a setup, watching this happen live in front of me is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a good deer, I'd shoot him.
When this buck is not getting his way, he's actually standing there looking at the doe that he's trying to chase, and he's just sitting there stomping at her, trying to get her to move so then he can pursue that chase again.
He's stomping at that doe, trying to make her move.
Daylight's starting to fade pretty quick. He has no idea that we're there. We're just gonna leave him there. We're gonna try to slip out without bumping these deer as quietly as we can and make a play on him the next morning. Morning number 3, we end up making a stand change. Reason being is because the conditions are changing, wind's changing, and the wind would just be better to hunt in this particular spot.
So we're set up about straight north from where we were last night. They must have been bedded up in the ditch. See what happens. Shooter from last night. He's dogging them does again. He's running across the field. Yeah, that's our guy from last night. Oh, he's northeast again. That's so cool.
So these deer are a couple hundred yards away, working along this cattle fence. The chase is on, they're starting to do their hot laps, he's dogging his does, and they're running rampant all across the property. All we can do right now is just be patient, wait, and hopefully we get a shot opportunity.
Oh, they're coming this way. You better grab your bow. He's right here. He's gonna come right close his doors back.
So as this buck is dogging this doe, chasing this doe, she actually jumps the fence into the neighboring property, back into the sanctuary, and he ends up losing her. So what does he do? He starts retracing his steps, trying to find her again. Now with this buck losing his doe, it actually tips some of the cards into my favor. Now I can start playing in my calling techniques. As he's running the fence line and retracing his steps from last night, we grab the extinguisher, we're throwing a couple grunt calls out, and we're throwing out a couple doe bleats, trying to paint that picture that his doe is actually over here with another buck. So the first calling sequence that we let out, it didn't seem like he reacted to it, didn't seem like he heard us because he was so fixated on trying to find this doe. But every time that he's doing these hot laps, he's getting closer and closer to us. So we let out one more sequence with the extinguisher, gave him a few grunt calls, and threw out a few doe bleats. And he did something that he hasn't done all morning long. He hooked hard into our timber. Now this deer is directly downwind. I hit the Tacticam remote, fire up all my Tacticams, and grab my bow. There's a lot of honeysuckle, there's a lot of low-hanging branches, visibility is limited. And we hear the classic rustling of the leaves. We know a deer is coming. When I first noticed the deer coming through, he actually walks through my first shooting window, and I find another small shooting hole.
Smoked him. Got him. Smoked him. Oh, yes.
the tail still. Oh, God, oh, baby. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes. I can't believe it. Oh, my gosh. What a rush, Wes. Thank you, buddy. You're the man. Oh, dude.
With everything happening so fast and me harvesting my first Illinois deer, I was just like in shock because it did happen so quick. Like, buck fever is a thing, and buck fever definitely got me that morning. All right, let's go check out my arrow. They're kind of special because the odd color is a turkey fletch. A buddy of mine, Stacy Fox, he chopped them for me, and they're actually from birds that we shot this last spring here, so kind of a cool little added on. That's awesome. All right, it's just right over here, so. Wow. What a beautiful deer. Oh my goodness. I am absolutely stoked to anchor my first Illinois deer. There he is. Wow. What a beaut. I am super blessed to have such a good friend to let me come down and hunt his personal farms. And finally this year I was able to pull the trigger on it, and this is the results. And I can't stop saying it, but I am super blessed. Thanks, Wes, you're the man. Going home with my first Illinois whitetail. He's a 9-pointer. He's got actually long swooping beams, and they go to the end of his nose. Has a ton of beadwork. Like, I've never seen so much beadwork on a deer before. Great tine length. You know, he's just a really cool 9-pointer. A few keys to this hunt were time of year and knowing what your deer are doing during that time of year. Wes has a ton of history with this property and knows exactly what these deer are doing. Trail cameras are showing proof of that. Calling was another key to success. We were able to read the deer's body language, use the extinguisher call, and get that deer within bow range. With things happening so quick, I was prepared. I was ready to go. I had a lot of practice, and as always, scent control plays a big part. Using the phase system, we're hunting the same deer a few days in a row. Our scent control needs to be on point. As the buck commits to our calling sequence, that puts the deer directly downwind from us. With him walking through the shooting hole, I was able to adapt really quick and find another shooting hole. Using the phase system was another key to success.
Smoked him.